Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sally Eaves and I'm live here at the Ericsson booth, a particular exhibit all about network slicing. It is a pleasure to be joined by Jan Karlsson, who is head of Ericson Digital Services. Welcome, Jan.
Thank you.
Pleasure to see you again. And obviously here we're at the heart of this exhibit. Love to drill into everything around network slicing,
Great.
What it can offer, the benefits it can bring, but also some of the challenges as well. So we've read a lot of research around the monetization benefits for enterprise and lots of benefits as well for specific applications and tasks. Remote surgery being one, ambulance design services as well. What's your take on that, the benefits, but also the challenges and how you're overcoming them at Ericsson?
Wide question.
Big one, exactly. Let's go macro to micro, exactly.
Okay, so starting first with slicing,
Yep.
What is it? It comes in so many different flavors. You have dynamic, you have static, you have slicing for enterprises, for consumers.
Static.
You have static for reserved for one enterprise, and you have it shared for various tenants. You have it local, regional, nationwide, and even across countries.
Exactly.
But underpinning slicing, you have a technology to set policy end to end.
Exactly.
Across radio, core, all the way to the edge. So that's really what slicing is about. So are we late with slicing? I think 2 points I want to bring up there. One is that slicing, you can do it in 4G, but really mission critical, time critical slicing can only be done with 5G standalone.
Exactly.
And 5G standalone is really hitting the market now.
Superb.
Second, slicing works when you have devices supporting slicing as well.
Yep.
And as an example, smartphones that support simultaneous slices, multiple slices in the smartphone are just hitting the market
Fantastic,
now.
yeah.
So there's dependencies if you want. So what are we doing? We are very active with customers. So a couple of examples, Far East Tone in Taiwan.
Yep.
Talking about dynamic slicing, we tested successfully how to set up tailored slices with tailored plans. Really, really good.
Love that.
Singtel launched standalone recently.
Superb.
And they are very ambitious with regards to slicing. For instance, for remote monitoring of ports, but also for sending robots into fire zones.
Love that,
to save
amazing.
people. So there's no shortage of slice enterprise cases and consumer cases. Something that I think is really important to highlight is that slicing, you can have quite narrow focus, but slicing really works when you look at it end to end.
Yep.
Across, of course, core radio, but also climbing up into orchestration, into monetization.
Indeed.
Because at the end of the day, what you want is a quick time to market for the customer.
Exactly.
So a recommendation is really look at the end-to-end approach.
Fantastic. So it's a holistic approach. I love that. And you naturally mentioned some great customer examples there already.
Yeah.
But have you got any more? Maybe, for example, here at MWC, some things that would really bring highlights that you're working with. So kind of those real world impact benefits of what network slicing can bring. I'd love to kind of share some of that with the audience today as well.
Absolutely. So I can bring up another example with Deutsche Telekom.
Okay.
And we are so proud of this. This is, we think, a world first.
Brilliant.
And it's about slicing international, cross-national.
Fantastic.
And it's for enterprises where we support time-critical enterprise applications with enterprise offices across countries. And the beauty with this is really that it combines slicing with SD-WAN, SD-WAN type applications. And I think this is really, again, the power of slicing, that you can combine it, not just think silo, what can I do in a silo, but how can I combine this to solve a business need.
That.
SD-WAN typically today is working on fixed bearers, but with 5G, you can do so much more. And this is a really good example.
I love that, and I also think some of the slicing applications that go beyond business for society as well.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work with the UN, for example, and amazing work you're doing to support that with some of the education opportunities as well. So I love that aspect too. So shared value business models, as I like to call it.
Yep.
Brilliant stuff. And also, when we look at like CSPs in particular, what would your advice be in what they need to do to really support all the benefits that slicing can offer? So what's your recommendation on the approach to take and how you're supporting and facilitating that?
I think it's a great question. So I think there's three things I would like to bring up. One is, again, the end-to-end approach. Think about the ecosystem. Don't think that you're alone.
Exactly.
Think about the devices. Think about the application developers. Think about, of course, the customers. So look end-to-end. As long as you have that end-to-end use case in mind, with a business focus, then look at the technology. What partners do I need? How do I actually realize this?
Fantastic.
So end to end and with a business focus.
Brilliant.
And finally, we talk about slicing being a huge opportunity. We talk about $200 billion in the not too distant future. But the third recommendation is really think about start now.
Yes.
Okay, what you do in 5 years is maybe not that relevant. The key thing is to seize the opportunity, start, get going now. So that would be the third recommendation.
Oh, that's wonderful, Jan. Honestly, it's a real joy to speak to you. And again, I think it kind of brings to the fore for the audience the power of technology, the power of ecosystem partnership, I would say, from what you're talking about there, and what we can do for business benefits, making those very specific applications and services we've been talking about, going broader for society as well. So that shared value. So honestly, Jan Karlsson, the Ericsson booth here, come and find out more about it and join all our stories throughout the week and beyond MWC as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And that one, there you go. Brilliant, thank you. Fantastic, thank you.